You don't realize it, but your timer started the day you entered this world, and every second since then, gone. Not coming back. There's a number, a specific one, that might just change everything for you. The average person, if they're lucky, gets about 4,000 weeks. That's it. 4,000. You're already hundreds, maybe thousands into yours, and they're not coming back. I want you to think about a clock. Not a digital one with neat, blinking numbers, but an old mechanical clock with heavy, grinding gears you can feel in your bones. Each tick is a second. Each talk is another one, gone. Now, imagine that clock was wound up the moment you took your first breath. It started counting down then. Not up. Down. And you've been hearing its rhythm your entire life, in your heartbeat, in the pulse at your wrist. So constant you've learned to ignore it completely. You live as if the ticking will go on forever. But every single tick is a second of your life, spent irrevocably. You are spending your life, right now, just to listen to this. And the worst part isn't that the clock is ticking down. The worst part is that you have no idea what number it started on. You have no idea how many ticks you have left. You could be in the final minutes, or you could have decades. There is no way to know. And yet, you live as if you have an infinite supply. This is the silent, screaming truth of your existence. Your life is not unlimited. You are not guaranteed next year, not next month, not even tomorrow. We all know this, intellectually. We hear it at funerals, we see it in the news, but we don't feel it. We file it away as a sad fact about other people, not a pressing reality about ourselves. We act like time is a river that will just keep flowing forever for us. But your timer, your personal, private timer is shrinking, and you have no idea how much sand is left in the top of the glass. Most people live on borrowed time without ever realizing they're the ones who have to pay the debt. Think about your 20s, or if you're in them, look around. They are treated as a trial period, a disposable decade, a time for figuring things out, for making mistakes, for staying out late. And there's some truth to that. But the lie is in the assumption that it doesn't count, that it's a prelude to real life. So we waste it. We take jobs that don't matter to us. We stay in relationships that dull our spark. We scroll through hours and days and weeks of other people's lives, waiting for our own to begin. We think we have forever, but doesn't care. It just keeps ticking. The most painful regret in the world isn't failure. It's not even falling short of a dream. The most painful, gut-wrenching, sleep-stealing regret is the one that comes too late. It's the realization, at 40 or 50 or 60, that you had the time, you had the energy, you had the chance to become who you could have been, and you wasted it. You simply ran out of time. The timer hit zero, and the person you were meant to be never got a chance to live. And this is because your dreams, they have deadlines. We like to think of dreams as timeless, floating in the ether, waiting for us to pluck them when we're ready. But they aren't. Success, or even just the pursuit of a meaningful life, requires fuel. It requires energy. It requires health. It requires a certain resilience of youth, a courage that hasn't yet been beaten down by a lifetime of compromise. These things fade. They are time-sensitive. It is not impossible to reinvent yourself at 50, but it is harder. The walls are higher. The body is more tired. The spirit is a little more bruised. The fear of regret is a more powerful hook than the hope of success. Because regret is a ghost that will live in the empty rooms of your life. It's the voice that whispers you could have, you should have, why didn't you? When it's far, far too late to do anything about it, we tell ourselves we're waiting for the right moment. We're waiting for Monday, for the new year, for the kids to be older, for the economy to be better, for that one sign from the universe. But time punishes those who wait. It exposes the lie of later. Let's follow that word. It starts as a harmless little promise to yourself. I'll start later. Then later becomes tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week slides into next month. Next month quietly mutates into next year. And then one day you're staring at a calendar and a whole decade is just gone, vaporized. You can't even remember what you did with it. This is procrastination blindness. It's a disease of the will, and its symptom is a life lived in the vague, foggy future, while the present, the only time you actually have any control over, slips through your fingers like smoke. But there is a way out. This is the turning point. This is where we move from the dark, cold truth to the empowering, blazing one. 1 year of focus can fix 5 years of regret. Think about that. A single year, 365 days of deliberate, intentional, focused action. Not a frantic, burned-out hustle, but a consistent, purposeful direction. 1 year can rebuild your body from the ground up. It can transform a soft, tired shell into a strong, energized vessel. 1 year can rebuild your mindset. It can take a brain fogged with anxiety and distraction and sharpen it into a laser of clarity and purpose. 1 year can rebuild your income. It can build a skill, launch a side project, change a career trajectory, and most importantly, 1 year can rebuild your identity. It can change you from someone who dreams to someone who does, from someone who waits to someone who builds. The future isn't promised to any of us. None of us are guaranteed another sunrise. But change, radical, profound change, is possible right now, in the time you have left. The only thing you have to do is start. Your timer is still running. You can hear it, if you listen closely, in the quiet moments, in the space between your heartbeats. It's still ticking. You don't control how much time you have. You never did. That was always an illusion. But you control what you do with the time that remains. You control the next hour, the next day, the next week. You control whether you spend it scrolling or spend it building, whether you spend it complaining or spend it creating, whether you spend it waiting or spend it living. This is your life, measured in ticks and talks. And if you don't move now, if you don't take that first, terrifying, beautiful step today, you will wish you had. You will ache with the memory of this moment, this chance you had to listen, to understand, to act. You'll wish you had when your timer inevitably reaches zero. So what is that one thing? That one project? That one conversation? That one skill? That one leap you've been putting off? You know what it is. It whispered to you while I was speaking. That quiet, persistent voice in the back of your mind. That is the most important sound you will hear today. More important than my voice. More important than the clock. That is the voice of the person you are meant to become. And they are running out of time to exist. Don't let them die inside you. Don't add another day to the pile of regret. The clock's been ticking since you were born. But the next tick? That one is yours. Use it. And if you're ready to finally silence the noise and start building the life the clock is counting down towards, then this is your next step. We've created a simple, free guide called the Blueprint. It's not a 60-page overwhelming manifesto. It's a 1-page PDF that walks you through the exact process of identifying the one thing that matters most to you right now, and how to structure your next 90 days around it. No fluff, no complex systems, just a clear path from waiting to starting. The link is right there on the screen, and it's waiting for you. It's the first brick. You just have to lay it. Go and take it. Your future self, the one you're still in time to become, is already thanking you.